Hi, everyone. Welcome to the PokeBeach.com podcast. My name is John. I go by Water Pokemon Master on the website, and I am joined today by the sick.
I'm just a little under the weather. I'm Justin Basil of JustinBasil.com, but I am here.
It's double
Mostly.
meaning, sick as in cool and also literally sick.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah. And you're sick and I'm tired and still recovering from my throat issue, but there was a lot of news yesterday or last night, and neither of us got any sleep, so we're gonna try to get through this podcast without collapsing.
We'll try. Let's see if we succeed.
I have my Poltegeist teacup with my green tea in it. That's
Nice.
from the Pokemon Cafe in Japan, so I'll be sipping tea throughout the episode. Oh, did I go off mic there?
You're good.
All right. Okay, so let's get into this week's news. And what should we start with?
Let's start with interesting things, shall we? What do we hit? What do we want to hit? Let's hit. Let's talk about some of the smaller stories first and get them out of the way. Let's talk about Pikachu and Oddish. Let's start with Pikachu.
Pikachu. Which Pikachu? There were two Pikachu stories.
Promo 101.
Oh, okay.
Promo 101. Yeah,
All right.
Promo 101, yeah.
This is an easy one. Okay. So, TPCI is going to be giving Pokemon Leagues a new Pikachu number 101 promo to give out to players, and the card will start to be given out this November on a limited first come first serve basis. And it'll also include a code that unlocks the Pikachu in Pokemon TCG Live, along with a themed deck box and card sleeves in the program, not physical ones. And we talked about this Pikachu in a previous news story, but it's already released in other countries, and featuring like the Pokemon World Championship logo when it released in August in Asia. And then the Asia Championship Series stamp, and ours will have the Play Pokemon stamp. And this was illustrated by the winner of the 2022 Pokemon Illustration Contest, where his winning Charizard card won, and this Pikachu shows the reverse angle of that Charizard card. Blah, 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 blah. Did I get through that?
Yeah, I think so. I will point out, though, does this mean that the Pikachu lost the battle? Because that Charizard looks pretty triumphant to me.
Pikachu never loses. Ever.
Except when it does.
This is Ash's Pikachu. And that's Leon's Charizard, I think. And Leon's Charizard in the anime lost to Ash's Pikachu. That's how Ash became the what is it? I can't think. The World Coronation Tournament Series champion.
Yeah, I think what you mean is plot armor is how he became the champion.
He worked for that for over 20 years. That's not plot armor. He actually worked for that win.
I would like to see his time turner because he's still 10.
Yeah, that doesn't quite make sense, does it? But all right, so that's that news story, and then let's go to the Oddish news story.
Oddish.
I can't do the voice.
Oddish.
Oddish is so cute. I love Oddish. So hobby stores are now getting in the Oddish promo that was created specifically for the Path to the Peak YouTube Pokemon TCG show. Each hobby store that's participating will receive 50 copies of it to give out to customers. You have to check with your hobby store to see if they received the Oddish promo because it comes in a Paradox Rift marketing kit. These marketing kits are sent to stores to advertise the latest set, and they include freebies for the stores to give out to customers to promote that set. So the Paradox Rift marketing kit includes these items here: a double-sided poster, a fabric banner. Those are obviously for the store to put up in their windows, probably not to give out to customers. Also, holiday greeting cards, dice bags, Path to the Peak postcards, and the Oddish promo itself, which are the freebies that the stores will presumably be giving out to customers. So yeah, this Oddish was the only card from the show that turned into a real card. It's illustrated by an American art designer from TPCI. It doesn't seem like it's going to release in Japan at this time. And the show also had other cards in it, like a Darkrai EX, but it doesn't seem like those cards are going to release, at least as of now. And yeah, what do you think?
I think I need a playset is what I think. I mean, obviously Oddish evolves into my favorite Pokemon, so
Yeah.
I think I have to have it. I do wish Blossom EX were real. That would be nice.
Yeah, Blossom EX was also in the show. And Oddish is the mascot of Justin Basil, is it not?
It is.
That's
It
right.
is.
So I bet you're excited about this. And actually, this actually has like a pretty good attack. The Grass Knot attack, doesn't it?
It's a pretty small multiplier.
Yeah, it does 20 damage for each colorless in your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost. I mean, that's how she was using
like,
it to
60?
win in the show. Yeah, but it's
I
still
mean,
pretty good for a basic.
Her plot armor's great too.
Yeah, her plot armor in the show. Was her name Ava, I think?
Ava, yeah.
I actually really liked that show. I thought they did a very good job. The show was executive produced by actually an old Pokebeach translator who now works at TPCI. So I thought that was a cool little.
Yeah, I mean the show's it's obviously aimed at a younger audience, but it is a very fun show.
I wish we had those kinds of shows when I was little. When I started the website in 2003, the TCG was literally dead. There were no tournaments, no leagues, no nothing. And I was always trying so hard at school and online to like advertise it and the franchise itself to show like, to show how good it is and like people should be participating. So I'm glad kids these days have these kinds of shows and promo card tie-ins to get them excited about the Pokemon TCG. So
For sure.
blah, blah, blah. All right.
All right, now we
What's
started
next?
happy and we can go to a little bit of a rage inducement. Shall we do the gray hat?
Oh, I forgot about that. No, not this again. I am
We're gonna cover this really briefly.
Sick of this damn Pikachu with gray felt hat promo. Okay, basically, all right, so basically what happened? All right, so Pokemon Center previously announced that they would be again releasing the Pikachu with gray felt hat promo when you spent $30 on qualifying Pokemon TCG products. They put it up on their website on, what day was it? It was the 17th?
The 17th, so 3
That
days
was
ago.
Tuesday. That was Tuesday. They put the promotion up on their website on Tuesday, and the card was gone within, what was it, like
30, 45 minutes. Yeah, it was fast.
yeah, it was gone, and I'm glad, and I hope it never comes back. But honestly, though, go
Did
ahead.
you get an order in? Did you get an order in?
No, I didn't. I had it. Well, I didn't care as much. I just didn't. I'm so sick of it. Like I said, at this point, but I did add things to my cart. It didn't go through, and I didn't want to fight it, so I just gave up. So I guess I'm weaker.
Yeah, gotcha.
I'm weak. So,
I got it to go all the way through. We'll see if I actually get it. That's the next thing I'm concerned about, because I've already started to see some stories on Reddit about people who put their orders in and they're watching items disappear from their order. And one of those, of course, because they're no longer at 30, is the promo.
yeah, and this story actually kind of confused me, or the way that they handled this promotion confused me, because it seemed like, to me, it seemed like they were going to print more of it, but I don't think they could have printed it as fast as the time that the promotion originally went up to now. So like, was this like some of this leftover stock they had? Like, I didn't quite understand that, because for me, it's like they would have put in an order at the factories, and then it would have taken a few months to get, a bunch of them in.
I think they probably already had them on hand. I think they probably realized with the initial launch that they were going to have a lot of them. And then when they sold out of the Van Gogh stuff, they probably just were like, okay, yeah, we're going to have some to replace for the customers anyway. Like if some get lost or damaged or whatever.
Oh, so you think this is
into that supply?
Oh, so you think
Yeah.
this is leftover stock from then?
I do.
Well, and Pokemon also promised that they were going to be giving out this promo at stores in Amsterdam early next year. So that tells me there's still going to be another print run of it.
Yeah, I think so.
But this
I don't know if
promotion,
we'll get another one here.
yeah, this promotion, they said was only going to last until the end of October. It didn't even last, 40 minutes. But I wonder if they'll do another promotion again for it when they do that print run, or if they do another print run.
I mean,
I'm assuming
we'll see.
they
They can always increase their print size, but
yeah, I don't know. I'm so sick of looking at this promo. I just do not care anymore.
yeah, I feel you. Yeah,
All I wanted was the Sunflora print. That's all I wanted. But anyway. All right, so that's it for the little news stories. Now comes all the news stories from last night, and
let's start with the gym promos.
Okay,
Gym
yeah.
promos.
So we got new gym promos. Most of them are alternate art reprints from Ancient Roar and Future Flash, which were also revealed last night. But there's 3 new cards, including Tinkaton, Garganackle EX, and Rhyfort. Is that how you pronounce it?
I'm not actually certain.
Rhyfort?
It could be Rhyfort, or Rayfor. I don't know.
So, what do you think of these cards, since you are our competitive expert?
I don't know what to say about expert. More seasoned, how's that? At least in the current meta. I don't hate Garganackle, especially because we had the one that does the healing and acceleration that came out in Paradox Rift. It is a stage 2. Damage reduction is nice. So it's going to be hard to knock out, especially without healing. Can't be special conditioned. It's not awful. It's got good HP. Maybe in the right meta, it could see some play.
Its ability is Salt Body. This Pokemon can't be affected by any special conditions. And then its attack is Block Hammer, 170 damage, FCC attack cost. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 60 less damage from attacks after applying weakness and resistance. And 340 HP.
The biggest thing you might have to worry about is if this does become popular, people might start taking in like a Technical Machine Devolution and then just unevolve you to knock you out. So it could go either way. We'll see how it pans out. And the meta may shift before we get to this thing anyway. So
every time we talk about cards, and when I see other people talking about cards, they always go, "Well, it is a stage 2." Is this game just not friendly towards evolution decks like stage 2?
It's better than it used to be. It used to be that if it were even a stage 1, it was basically unplayable. Stage 2s, though, were literally a running joke for the longest time. The biggest problem is they take so many extra spots in your deck compared to something like a basic or something that's basic focused. And then with that comes inherent inconsistency. So a lot of the successful stage 2 decks have really powerful boosters to their consistency. So you look at Gardevoir. Gardevoir has the Curlia from Silver Tempest that lets it draw cards. Charizard has its ability that lets it accelerate energy. There are ways that help offset its being a stage 2, basically.
I see.
It makes it less awful. You get a card like this, and it's just like, well, it's got a lot of HP. That's probably not going to be enough. Maybe it will be if the meta's right, but it probably won't be.
I mean, in my day, we used to get rewarded significantly for having evolving decks, but I guess there's always been kind of a big basic Pokemon versus evolution deck rivalry. I mean, we had Haymaker decks in the old days, and then so I guess this has always been a thing in the card game. Now that I think about it,
Well, the healthiest formats, in my opinion, are a mix of the two. I've talked about Sun and Moon Lost Thunder in the past. And that was just like this, right? Where you had a bunch of basic decks, you had some stage 1s, you had some stage 2s, you had a whole variety. And then you had formats like Tag Team era where you played tag teams, or you played something that very much hard countered whatever was popular, and that was it.
Well, during the pandemic, luckily we didn't have tournaments, so it didn't matter too much that those.
I mean, that's the thing, is we did have tournaments, they just weren't sanctioned tournaments.
Well,
the community still held tournaments,
right.
Lots and lots and lots of tournaments.
Under the table.
Limitless online tournament platform is still very popular for tournaments.
Oh, you mean online?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that's true. I guess I tend to think more about in real life, but yeah, there's a big online community, obviously. And then, one thing, this Garganical, I remember when I'm looking at the card art, I'm like, what am I looking at? I don't understand this Pokemon's design. Like, I see the eyes now, but it's like when I first looked at the card, I'm like, this thing is so confusing to me. This Pokemon's design. Yeah, it's salt with eyeballs. All right, so let's talk about, okay, real quick, we'll do a Latios promo. There's going to be Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Latias. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read it. It's Latias has the ability Mist Float if this Pokemon has any psychic energy attached. It has no retreat cost, and then it has for psychic, colorless, psychic sphere, 100 damage. It's bad. Even as a free retreater with the psychic or the Mist Float or whatever, it's just bad. It's no.
I love how you just jumped right into bashing it. You didn't explain what
It's because
you
it's
didn't
not
explain what it
good.
is. No, you didn't explain what it was. So it's coming in the November 21st issue of Koro Koro Ichiban magazine. It's a holo promo card that'll be included inside. But it's funny, like I'm going straight to bashing. I'm not even going to explain what it is.
This is so bad.
That's promo cards because they give them out, for free to the masses, so they have to be bad because they're free. And they're like introductory cards usually. All right. And then our two big news stories of last night, technically 3 news stories. So last night, all the Ancient War and Future Flash cards were revealed. Oh, I guess we do need to look at that one because I talk about the simultaneous releases. So all the cards from those sets were revealed last night, officially. And we're starting to notice a trend with how our English sets are being released now, in conjunction with the Japanese sets. So with Obsidian Flames and now Paradox Rift, we're seeing that our English sets are, actually, do you want to explain this? I wrote it out, but
you pretty much.
All right, I'm just going to read this
because
I'm going to read this part because I know I'm going to mess it up if I say it out loud off the cuff. So, how am I explaining this? So the Japanese, what we're seeing now is that there's a 3-month window where these Japanese sets come out, right? And then at the end of this 3-month window, we're getting our English set catching up with all those Japanese cards. What this also means is that the last Japanese set to release in this 3-month window is coming out at the same time as our English set, which uses the cards from that Japanese set. So with Paradox Rift this weekend, we're actually going to be using the cards in English during our pre-release tournaments before Japan gets them in their Ancient War and Future Flash set next week. This also means that we're going to see the secret rares from Paradox Rift during the pre-releases this weekend, which are part of Japan's Ancient War and Future Flash that are coming out next week. So we're going to see the secret rares before Japan does. So this also seems like it's going to be a trend from now on, maybe, where the Japanese sets, have their, monthly releases. And then at the end of that 3-month window, we get our English set that catches up with the majority of those cards. It won't be all the cards because we already know some cards were cut out from Paradox Rift that are going to be shifted to January, but it's the majority of them. So in Paradox Rift's case, that's Raging Surf, the Terra Mewtwo EX and Skeledirge EX decks, and of course Ancient War and Future Flash. And as we'll cover in our next news story about Paradox Rift, about 30 cards have been cut from all those sets, but the other 200 cards we're still getting in English. So we're catching up pretty well with Japan now. It's almost simultaneous releases, although Japan is getting about 2/3 of the cards a month or two ahead of us, but sharing the same sort of simultaneous release with the last 1/3.
As we're saying, in this case, it's actually the other way around. They got the first third, and now they're getting the last 2/3.
Oh, right. Well, I guess I meant
was
more
only
with,
one of them.
Right, that's true. I guess I meant with 2/3 of the releases because it's Raging Surf, the Terra Mewtwo EX and Skeledirge EX decks, and then Ancient War and Future Flash. But yeah, it's in terms of card numbers, it's actually we're getting like you're saying, 2/3 of the cards simultaneously almost.
Yeah, I do wonder if this will stick because obviously we just got the news for the Shiny Treasure EX set. That's going to be releasing in December. We don't get what should be our rough equivalent to that until January. So that's already going to be a month delay at a minimum.
Well, that's a special set though. So it's sort of an exception.
It is, but that also is likely going to impact the release date of our first set for the year. Probably push it into March.
That's true.
And there's no way that Japan's going to wait until, late February or March to do their release.
Right. Well,
so we'll see.
But their last set of the 3-month window could be our next set, though. Wouldn't that still work?
Not for the first set of the year. The first sets of the year are usually a dual big set.
Right.
Basically.
But wouldn't that come out in January? So that would be January. That would be the dual sets in January, a second subset in February, and then a third set in March, which would maybe be when our next set comes out if they shift our
so
first set of
if
the
they do
year.
it like if they release the dual sets in January, generally that's the whole set for the next set.
You mean
because
they
those
don't
are
have a
usually, like,
subset?
There's not usually there's not one that gets incorporated into that next set for English. So because they're usually like 97-ish cards a piece or like 100, and so they're usually already basically our sizes plus some promos or whatever, and then minus some stuff. You get the idea.
Right.
And then the next set is usually the whatever the B set is plus the next two sets from the double.
I can't wait until I start writing TCG pages for the website soon, because I'm going to like document all these sort of release patterns and everything, because I have to always go back and remind myself all the time of how different releases work and everything. So I'm going to have to do that soon.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it comes out.
And we're going to go over the Ancient War and Future Flash cards when we talk about our Paradox Rift news story, since it has majority of those cards. So I'm going to skip that for now.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like I said, the Ancient War and Future Flash secret rares, they would usually be revealed next week when Japan starts opening their booster packs, but we're going to get them in English first this weekend. So we're going to see those cards leak this weekend rather than next week. All right, so I guess we should do Paradox Rift, and then
let's do Shiny Treasure first.
Well, but we were just talking about Ancient War Future Flash, shouldn't we?
Yeah, but Shiny Treasure will go faster.
Okay, fine.
You think?
Yeah. All right. So
let's leave them with the little tease.
All right, fine. So you actually posted this news story when I collapsed and fell asleep from the other news stories. So
yeah.
Do you want to, or should I?
So the very basics is we now know an official release date for Shiny Treasure EX. It's coming out on December 1st. It's going to have 190 cards before secret rares, and probably roughly 150 or more secret rares.
Wait! You didn't. Wait! You have to hype it up. You just jumped right into it. It's like, oh my god, guys!
Set.
We're getting a Shiny Treasure EX set.
I can't. I just can't. No.
Okay, fine. Wait.
These shiny sets don't hype me up. They don't.
What? They're so cool.
They don't. They're so boring.
No, because you're a competitive player. You're more competitively.
No, it's not even that. It's their art sucks.
Well, but it's not always so. It's not so much the art. It's like the texture. It's the fact that the Pokemon are shiny. Like, it's more that. Like,
No, it's not. Like, it's so lazy.
You know that you're in the minority though, because these sets sell like.
No, I'm not.
Oh yeah, you are. These sets sell like crazy. So you totally are. You totally are. You just had a total.
These sets sell like crazy because there's sparkly crap in it, not because they actually like the cards.
Well, because people like the sparkly
I guarantee you that if these were alternate arts with actual shinies in them, with real art in them instead of generic garbage recolored full arts, these set would sell.
What are you talking about?
Better.
The secret rares are right here. They are alternate arts right here. These are alternate arts.
Not that. I'm talking about the EXs.
Well, who cares?
The babies are all bland anyway. They're all just random sparkly.
Because it's the texture. See, this is an example of like the real life cards. This is an example of the digital card images don't do it. The digital card images don't do it justice. It's like the fact that the cards are textures in real life. Like, you look at the card and it's really pretty looking. I think anyway.
Oh, wait. In Japan,
hold on. Let me rewind.
In international release.
Hold on. Let me rewind. So, Shiny Treasure EX was revealed last night. We first learned about it through trademark listings a whopping 7 months ago. So we knew the set was coming for over half a year. It'll release in Japan on December 1st. It'll include 190 cards before secret rares. And then how many secret rares did you say?
150 or more.
150 or more secret rares.
Yeah.
These sets, typically the main set features a majority of reprints from the last year, because these sets are to they're supposed to be for Japanese players to catch up on releases they may have missed from the previous year, or for collectors to catch up on these kinds of cards. But the majority of the set, the main set, is reprints with just maybe 15 to 30 new cards in it. And then the appeal of this set, as we were just talking about, or not agreeing to, is that the shiny Pokemon are the secret rares of the appeal. So that's why there are way more secret rares in the set than there are in the main set, than there are cards in the main set. So in the news story, we see shiny starter Pokemon. The babies, as Justin Basil said, are new artwork, a little simplified, because again, it's the texture that the cards are. The appeal of the cards is the texture in real life. And the EXs are just recolored versions of their full arts, which is, I guess, as he's saying, are a little boring.
Lazy is what they are.
Yeah, maybe. I guess. Well, yeah, I guess it is technically lazy.
I mean, think about, like, we've had maybe we've just been spoiled the last year and a half. Like, if any of these cards were treated with the same respect as the cards in the trainer galleries were, or even just like the special illustration rares that we've seen, or even the illustration rares that we've seen in this last block, like, they would be so much better. So much better. They can still do texture on cards that have had effort put into them.
Yeah, but again, I think though you pointed this out in the news story yourself, is that I think the point of the sets is just to catch people up, because Japan doesn't. So this is like a sort of tangent note, but Japan doesn't hold their sets in warehouses like we do. They typically print them and ship them out right away. So whatever cards that are out there sell out like right away. So this is sort of a way of getting new stock of the cards out, but making them a little special so that there's some appeal to collectors. So it's to sort of get everybody, allow everybody to collect the cards that they may not have gotten from the past year, put them in their decks to play with them. And I think just being shiny is sort of like a little bonus thing, in my opinion.
Well, the shininess is literally an incentive to buy something that's rehashed. That's what it is.
But they don't have to make them shiny, because it would still sell out. Anyway, let's agree to disagree. We both have opinions that I'm sure a lot of fans do.
Okay,
so it's good that
we're gonna do it this way. We're gonna do it this way. Who do you agree with in the comments? Do you think these are lazy rehash sets, or do you think they're beautiful, amazing things? Like, really, like, could there be more effort put into them, or are they perfect as is?
I didn't say they were perfect, but yeah. Yeah, that's a good
I don't
point.
think they're defensible.
Let us know in the comments. Also, while we're at it, be sure to like and subscribe if
yes, please do that. That way you can hear us rant a little bit more.
Well, it's good though, because this is why I like you as a co-host, because it's we both have different backgrounds, and that's how a lot of fans are themselves. You know, there's people who just collect and that are more casual. There's more serious players that are more involved. That's the beauty of this community, is that there's so many different kinds of people. So it's kind of hard sometimes for Pokemon to deal with all that, because they're targeting like so many different subgroups and fans. So there's something for everybody, honestly. So like, this is more of, I think, a collector set, whereas the regular releases have cards in them for competitive players to go after.
Well, it is a collector set. That's fine. It can be a collector set, but collectors deserve better. That's my point.
Yeah, it's valid. And then the only one new card was revealed, because, as we said, these sets typically only have 15 to 30 brand new cards in them. It's Clive, a supporter. Your opponent reveals their hand. Draw 2 cards for each supporter card you find there. What do you think of that?
So bad.
Is it?
Yeah, like, in really niche, like. Okay, so I've talked briefly about an unofficial format I have called Eternal. It's like unlimited, basically, but with a ban list. Maybe this could see niche play there if you're playing against a deck that doesn't, or that like item locks itself, right, where it's really supporter heavy. But in literally every other situation, it's a dead card because you're gonna get like maybe draw 4 at best.
Oh, people don't have that many supporters. Oh, I guess they don't. But I remember when I'm usually playing, I'm like, where's all my supporters?
A deck has like 10 maybe on average, and you're only going to have 1 or 2 of those in your hand, and you've probably played a couple of them already by the time something like that comes out. So it's just not that good. Play Research, play Iono, play literally anything else.
Yeah. I didn't think about that, but that's a good point. That because I remember when I played some games recently, I'm always like, "Where's my supporter cards?" I don't. It's like you're trying really hard to get them in your hand. See? No?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem finding them, but I don't know what deck you're playing, so.
I was playing a League Battle deck. That's what it was. I was playing the Pikachu Zekrom deck, the tag team deck.
Oh, that's so old.
I know. I was playing that, and I was also using the Arceus.
Does that deck not have tag call? That deck doesn't have tag call in it?
I don't remember. It's been a while. I like how you went silent when I was talking about how I don't get supporters because I was using pre-constructed decks. And then also for this, a couple more notes about Shiny Treasure EX. It's going to have the cards in it that we've gotten in the past year in English that Japan hasn't gotten yet, like promo cards from our pre-release build and battle kits and promos we've gotten in some of our box sets, like the Charizard EX Premium Collection, which has an alternate art Charizard EX full art. And this set is a high class set in Japan, so that means it comes with 10 cards, which is much more than normal. And each booster pack will come with a guaranteed Pokemon EX, which isn't normal. It's only for these high class sets that happens. And we expect Shiny Treasure EX to become part of our unnamed Scarlet and Violet 4.5 set in January, which we covered last week. So yeah, and if you want more details, be sure to read the articles.
For sure.
Is that all for that?
I think so. We're just going to talk about Paradox Rift now.
Paradox Rift.
Now we're going to go into the juice.
Oh boy. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Paradox Rift pre-releases are taking place this weekend. The set is comprised of, as I said before, Japan's Ancient War and Future Flash, which come out next week. And it's also comprised of September's Raging Surf and its associated Terra Mewtwo EX and Skeledirge EX decks. And as I said, this is one of the few times we're getting a simultaneous release with these cards. And I just posted a couple of secret rares in the news story because I didn't want to spoil it for people going to the pre-releases, but I'll post the rest of them over the weekend. You can see them here. I love this Vanillish and this human character. What do you think?
Not one of my favorites. The art's fine. I just don't like the Pokemon very much.
I see that's an example of a Pokemon that I know most people don't like, but I do because it reminds me of the summer when I used to eat ice cream at like theme parks or something. I don't know why. Like I used to go to this water park in Palm Springs with my family when we would vacation over there, and they had like ice cream and misty they had like mist there when you would be eating your ice cream, like the mist to cool people down. And that Pokemon is ice cream and shoots out mist. So I always think back to that. So I don't know. That's like an example of a Pokemon having like a weirdly specific nostalgic connection to my childhood.
I mean, everybody has those little things, right?
Right. That's why I put it in the story. And then Steelix has really cool artwork. It's like, I love this art. I love these kinds of examples of humans and Pokemon working together, where like Steelix is helping these people at the construction site. Like I'm assuming being used as a ladder for them to reach the top, or is it supporting that platform? Oh yeah, it's acting like those like platform an elevator list. Yeah, those platform lift elevator things. Mm-hmm. And then I put in the waifus, the Mela and Professor Sada's Vitality. And
that card is so strong.
And Professor Turo's Scenario. These are the so are these the real Professor Turo and Sada? Or is it like flashback?
I would assume so.
Because they're like dead, aren't they? They're dead.
I mean, yeah.
They were replaced by like AI or something. I forgot.
I wonder when we're gonna get the AI versions of them. That's gonna be a card too, right?
I thought these.
It would probably be in this next block.
I wonder if I wonder if they'll come back to life or something in the DLC.
Maybe.
And then just a couple more notes. The reverse hollows for the ancient and future Pokemon, they're just like refractive. They don't have the energy types in the background like the usual reverse hollows do. That's because they have sort of this artwork in the background of like the ancient Pokemon have like rock layers and the future cards have like a digital background. So that's why they have a reflective thing. And then, as I said, there's 30 cards that were cut from our Paradox Rift set that'll presumably be moved to our special January set. 10 cards were cut from Ancient War and Future Flash, and around 20 from Raging Surf and its 2 Terra EX decks. And you can see those cut cards in the news story, along with the products and store promotions and everything you need to know about the set. It's a lot to go through, so you should just check out the news story if you want all the details. But in terms of the English set, what do you want to talk about, Justin Basil? Are there specific cards, or what do you want to? How do you want to do this?
That's a good question. I don't know, because we've seen most of these cards already, or at least most of the more interesting ones.
So we should go over the newly revealed cards from Ancient War and Future Flash that we got last night. Although there weren't that many new ones, actually.
There really weren't that many. It was like 8.
Were there? No, there were.
It was really small.
Well, no, that's 8 if you follow the leaks, but it was more than that if you don't. So.
Right. But even with the leaks, there weren't that many.
Well,
that were interesting.
Well, so then why don't you tell us your top 3 cards from this set?
Overall?
Yeah.
Or new?
Overall.
Okay, let's see here. Let's look. 2 of them are going to be trainer cards. Let's go to, in the items, let's go to Earthen Vessel.
Earthen Vessel. Oh. Earthen Vessel. Okay, here it is.
So we've been playing with this card. We've been testing with it since it was revealed. This card is absurd. It's like Professor's Letter, but on steroids. Everything's okay. Well, you're searching your deck for 2 energy cards. You have to discard a card. Yeah, I'm going to read it right now.
Oh.
So you must discard a card from your hand in order to use this card. Search your deck for 2 basic energy cards, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. That seems just like a worse version of Professor's Letter, right? You get the same effect, but now you have to discard a card for it. I am here to tell you right now, no, it's so much better because of that discard effect. So much better.
Is it because it's like get rid of cards you don't need, basically?
There's that, which that's fine, but that's not even the main point. A lot of the decks now have acceleration from the discard pile.
Oh,
so dark
right.
in particular loves this, right?
Yeah,
so it's able to discard a darkness energy and then use it for dark patch, or it's able to use discard an energy and then use it for the next card on my list here, Sidus Vitality. The card is extremely strong, and then because you're able to get 2 energies, they don't have to be the same energy either. So if you need like a lightning energy and a water energy, you can get that, and it's not that difficult to get it because of Earthen Vessel. And we have cards like Arven and like Irida that can search for this card specifically and immediately turn into energy search with this.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, there's a lot of energy acceleration from the discard pile. Yeah. And then you said Sada's Vitality is your next.
Sada's Vitality, yes, that's another extremely strong card. So I know a while back there was a card Welder that a lot of people were very scared of because they thought it was overpowered. At the time, you could attach up to 2 fire energy cards from your hand to one of your Pokemon, and then you draw 3 cards, right? But you had to have the energy in hand to do that. Pokemon realized maybe that was perhaps too much. I didn't actually think it was that powerful because it was really bricky, but the acceleration was nice. Then they came up with Melanie, which was more similar to Vitality, right? Or Sidus Vitality, where you're getting a water energy from your discard to one of your water type Pokemon V. So very specific, trying to make sure it's not overpowered, not too useful, but it's still very good. And then you draw 3 cards. This card though is like Melanie on steroids. So now it doesn't matter what the type is. It just has to be accelerated to an ancient Pokemon. I'm going to read it right now. So its Vitality says, choose up to 2 of your ancient Pokemon and attach 1 basic energy from your discard pile to each of them. Then draw draw 3 cards. Now,
ridiculous.
not only can you accelerate 1 energy, you can accelerate 2. So you can accelerate, let's say, for example, the next card we're going to talk about, Roaring Moon. So you have 2 Roaring Moon in play. You can accelerate an energy to each of them using Sada's Vitality.
And Roaring Moon is right here.
Okay, so Roaring Moon has the attack Frenzied Gouging. For 2 darkness and a colorless, it says, I can barely read it off the screen.
It says Frenzied Gouging, DDC, attack cost. Knock out your opponent's active Pokemon. If your opponent's active Pokemon is knocked out in this way, this Pokemon does 200 damage to itself. It has 230 HP. And then it has, for the same attack cost, DDC, Calamity Storm, 100 plus damage. You may discard a stadium in play. If you do, this attack does 120 more damage, so 220 total damage.
Right. And then what's cool too is you have Ancient Booster Energy Capsule to boost the HP of Roaring Moon by 60.
Oh my goodness.
So you're not squishy. You're not. You're going to take some hits. And you don't necessarily have to use Frenzied Gouging to take knockouts. In our testing, we were able to accelerate with Sada's Vitality, with Dark Patch, and then attach a Jet Energy to Roaring Moon to put it in the active spot and take a knockout. Turn 1, going second.
This set, I keep seeing on social media that people seem to think this is going to be a one of the greatest sets in a long time. It's because
it's a good set.
Yeah, I mean, especially after Obsidian Flames was so horrible. I mean, it was horrible because it was mostly those starter decks were in it, and it only had one actual
Charizard.
set. Yeah, more. That's like an example of a collector set, I think.
Yeah. I don't even know if the collectors liked it, to be honest.
Is there anything?
It didn't sell very well.
Is there anything else in Paradox Rift that you want to go over in terms of competitive cards?
I mean, a lot of them ones we've already hit. Stuff like Iron Valiant. Iron Valiant, of course, is very good. It has that ability, Tachyon Bits, that puts damage counters. Like when you move it from the bench to the active spot, it puts 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon, which it's nice. You can use some switching effects, and then pair that up with, just literally anything and take a KO, pretty much. And you have Laser Blade. You can use that in combination with Gardevoir or with Xatu. You can power it up. It's possible to turn it into a deck. Lost Box might have some interest in it. I don't really know, honestly. I feel like Sableye is probably just better. But it does exist. It is an option. And then you have access to the Future Booster Energy Capsule that gives you free retreat and boosts your damage. So that's never a bad thing.
A lot of exciting cards in this set. I mean, I've seen so many people. What is it called? What do you call it?
Yeah.
Theory. What do you call it?
Theory crafting.
Theory crafting. These cards. So a lot of
speaking of theory crafting, I mentioned it earlier, but I don't think we've actually talked about it. The Garganical from this set. Let's talk about that.
Sure. Here it is.
There we go. All right. So it has an ability, Energy Rock Salt. Once during your turn, you may attach a basic fighting energy from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. If you do, heal 30 damage from that Pokemon. And then it has Land Crush for 140. This is the one we were talking about, the one I was referencing earlier when we were talking about Garganical EX, because you're able to accelerate energy to that Pokemon and then heal it off. So it's really bulky, right? It's got 340 HP. It probably has access, or is probably using, there's a tool from Scarlet Violet base set. It's like, reduces the damage taken by a fighting Pokemon. I can't remember the name at the moment, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So reducing damage, you're healing off a bunch of stuff. As long as they're not able to just like devolve you, you're not in a bad spot necessarily, because you can heal stuff off. So it's not bad.
And then
of course acceleration is always good. So.
And then what else do we? Here's some of the. Let's just briefly go over the secret rares again. These will be posted throughout the weekend. But what are your favorites? We've seen a lot of these from the Japanese sets.
I love the Mantike. The Mantike is adorable.
The creepy Mantike.
Yes.
With those eyes. Looks like it's going to suck out his soul.
Yeah, but Mantike's like, I've been gone so long. Please let me in.
And then...
the Veluza is actually really pretty, too.
With the star you can
really, really bright. Yeah. Love the star you in there. That definitely adds value to that card.
This says
the Groudon.
Oh, yeah, you love
Groudon. Yeah, Spathra is really cool, too. Yeah.
The
I've called out the Groudon already, though.
Yeah, the Espathra's art is amazing. It's like a desert sunset. I didn't really understand what I was looking at first. It looked like a bomb had gone off, but I think it's supposed to be a desert sunset.
It's a nuclear winter. That's what it is.
I mean, it looked weird, but it's like there's a lot of cards where I don't. I've noticed over the years I don't process like what I'm actually seeing. Like I don't look in detail at them. I just kind of take them in. And there's like even some Wizards of the Coast cards where I've gone back and like really looked at them and I'm like, oh my God, I never know. Like Rocket Zapdos from Gym Heroes or Gym Challenge, whichever set it was. I didn't realize before that I was seeing its whole body. I thought I was like seeing it with like its wing in front or something. And then I just like really studied it when Celebrations came out. I was like, oh my God, I've been perceiving this card artwork incorrectly since I was a kid. So anyway, yeah, I don't always study these cards up close. The Garbodor has
Card's trash.
Lots of trash. It's cool though. The Morpeko.
It's mostly a joke.
Oh,
I mean, it isn't that great of a card, but
Morpeko also has a Staryu cameo, right here.
Oh, nice, good catch.
Everyone loves Staryu. I mean, it's like the mascot for Poke Beach, I think, and because I love it, and I don't know anyone who doesn't love it.
I love Starmie. I like Starmie more personally, but I like Staryu.
Oh, I love both of them. Absolutely love both of them. Let's see, the Swablu. I know a lot of people loved. The Swablu's hiding among the Wingull.
It's perfect.
This Iron Jugulus, like, I kind of thought this was like what's the name of the future place at Disneyland? The future area. What is that place called?
I've never been, so I don't know.
The whatever it's called, Tomorrowland. It reminds me of Tomorrowland. What's the Godzilla villain that Iron Jugulus is based on? It's Ghidra. Reminds me of Ghidra, like invading Disneyland or something. And then let's see, what else do we have for the secret rares? Here's Roaring Moon EX, a little preview of that. Again, I'm going to post all the secret rares throughout the weekend once the pre-releases start. Of course, have the Lysopod.
So cool too. Yeah.
This is in Japanese. We have the English one, but I accidentally put the Japanese one. And I love the Tapu Koko, as we talked about before, with that sunset, that 80s-ish sunset. The Iron Valiant with the other future Pokemon in the background. The Roaring Moon with the ancient Pokemon in the background. And yeah. That's... And then, like I said, you can go to the news story to see all the cut cards, the products, the goodies you can get at hobby stores, yada, yada, blada, blada.
Yeah, they were pretty conservative with what they cut. Generally, when they cut cards, they don't cut things that are that super relevant to the meta or that we'll see any play at all, really. So they're pretty good about not cutting stuff that's important.
So I think that's it for the week in terms of news. Is there anything else we want to talk about in general?
Just real quick, there is a regional in France this weekend in Lille.
France.
So if
France.
Look, I'm nasally right now. It's France enough.
France.
But in Lille this weekend, there is a regional. So if you're going to Lille, best of luck to you. Hopefully you all win.
And make sure to go to a Paradox Rift pre-release this weekend. In the news story, there's a link to the event locator on Pokemon.com. You can also Google it, and there's pre-releases are everywhere. I'm definitely going to one. It's just fun. Like, I love going to pre-releases to meet people, talk to people, make friends. And it's also a good way to support local gaming stores that have Pokemon leagues. So you should definitely go, especially if you're like a new player. This is a really fun way to get involved, to, start playing the game. Everybody's very casual. Nobody cares if you're new, so it's a very relaxed environment for new players.
Yeah, I know I'm going to be going to a pre-release. Have you already signed up for a pre-release in your area? Because the ones in my area sell out. Oh, yes.
Oh, no, I just show up.
Maybe your stores aren't quite so.
Well, we
packed as
have a
ours.
billion in LA, so it's like you can always.
We have a
find
billion
one.
here too. It does not matter. They sell out.
Oh no, I don't. No, not here.
Like sort of a tangentially related thing. Obviously, the signups for San Antonio's regional went up this week. Mm-hmm. There's the Masters division's already sold out for TCG.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
1,909 spots. That the event overall is already looking at like 2,500, 2,700 people in that range for all games.
They need to expand those. They need to like.
They are.
Well,
like
they
right now,
really
there's
need
already
to
more
expand
players
them.
signed up for San Antonio than there were at NAIC.
But if they're still selling out like that quickly, you think they would?
So Day 2 Events has said that they're going to try to make more room for Masters TCG and Masters VGC. So both trading card game and the video game. So they're going to try to make more room for both. I am not playing as a competitor there. I will be working as event staff.
Yeah.
I've gotten on with Day 2. I'm going to be doing the First Steps program there. So I'll be teaching people how to play.
You're going to be doing
game.
I'm sorry, the what? The what?
First Steps.
Oh, is that like is that when you teach kids with the half decks?
Teach people how to play in general, yes.
Is it with the half decks or is it just
like the Umbreon, like we did a news story on it like 6 months ago or so. Yeah,
people
it's
like
with those half decks.
I think Pokemon for just revealed those decks on their social media channels like a few weeks ago, and then people were like, "Oh my god, I've never seen these before." And we're like, "We covered these like a year ago."
It's been a long time.
Yeah, I guess people. This is another reason why there needs to be TCG pages on the website. But I'm working on that. I've got something in the works for that.
Yeah, but yeah, I will be at San Antonio, but I will be as event staff. But we'll see how much Day 2 can open up, because the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center, where it's taking place, that is not a small building. That is a very large building. There is space. It's just, can they make it happen?
And I'm going to go to a Paradox Rift pre-release this weekend. I don't know where yet. There's like 3 leagues within like 20 minutes of me. So I have to admit, I haven't been to a pre-release for like 2-3 sets. Maybe you're right about the selling out. I don't know. But I haven't experienced that. So I might be okay.
Yeah.
I hope.
There's probably about 15 to 20 leagues in my area. I actually have one that I could walk to if I really wanted to. I don't care for the venue very much, but I could walk to it. Yeah, and they all just sell out. They're so.
I'm gonna have to investigate that and report back next week.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there anything else we wanted to talk about in like the world of Pokemon, or personally with Pokemon, or anything? I'm trying to think. I feel like I had something to say before.
We're nailed. Unless you got some.
I thought I did have something, but I can't remember. I'm looking around. I don't remember. Anyway. Oh, isn't TCG Classic coming out pretty soon? Pokemon TCG
Yeah,
Classic?
that should be coming out next month. I think isn't it the November 3rd? It's the same day as Paradox Rift, right?
Yeah, so that's
at least
in 2 weeks.
GameStop, I think it is. The full release is like 2 weeks later.
But it's coming out in like 2 weeks though, right?
Yeah.
You can just Google PokeBeach Pokemon TCG Classic. I reviewed the product at Worlds because they had it on display there, so you can see all the cards in it, all the accessories in that news story if you want to check it out. And like we reported in, I think, our first or second episode, it's going to cost $400. So yeah,
about $300 too much.
Yeah, they're gonna release like a smaller version of it. Oh no, sorry, we don't know that. That's speculation. They're gonna release something with some of the cards from it next year. So it'd be nice if it's just the actual cards. But I kind of feel like they're not gonna release the Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur that way. I hope they do, but those are like. Those would maybe
they'll
like
spite us.
Well, I don't think it's spite. I think it's because it would devalue the original prints if they made them so easily accessible. So
they just make them not hollow.
They could, but it would still devalue them because it would make if so many people have them. I think it would. I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know. Okay, I think that's it for the week. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're on Twitter, retweet the video when I post it if you can, if you're fans of this. The reason we started this podcast was for weeks like this where there's just so much news. So, we can hang out together and go over it if you're not catching all the news stories during the week or if you miss some. But as usual, you can go to pokebeach.com to read all these articles as they are posted, and then we'll cover them at the end of the week in our podcast. And be sure to go to Paradox Rift pre-releases this weekend or the San Antonio regionals where you can meet Justin Basil. And
we did not forget.
What?
We did not forget. Leave your comments and questions, your questions for us in the comments here or on Poke Beach, and we will get back to you. We only had one question this week. We're going to hold off on answering it for now. But
wow, we're that popular. We're that popular. We got one question. Wow.
Yes. So leave your questions for us. Decide who of us is right. And then the rant in my tirade earlier. Decide who of us is right.
It's hilarious. It doesn't make sense. It's hilarious though. It's like the website gets millions of unique visitors every month, but the YouTube thing gets like 1,000, 2,000 views.
Right.
That's very weird. I think maybe it's like the YouTube algorithm. Like if you're if you're like doing something new, it takes a long time to catch on. I don't know. Or maybe our viewers I honestly think that articles are the superior format because you just get into the article, you read it, and you're out. Videos you have to kind of sit through. So I don't know. Maybe our readers are maybe they already innately prefer the article format over videos, but it's still
that's
fun
a possibility. But I like to just listen to it.
Yeah. No, it's still fun to hang out every week and go over all the news for people who prefer to watch these videos. If you're a fan of this show and you've been watching, spread the love to other people. If you can, let them know about it, because we are very passionate about what we do. Like I say all the time, I've been doing this for over 20 years. So we would appreciate your support. So I think that's it for the week. We'll see you again next week if there's news, and there's been news every week since we started. So I guess
true.
We'll probably see you next week too. But
see you next
thank you everybody, and we'll see you next week. Bye.